What's scarier right now? Ghostface dominating the global box office, or the idea that horror has officially become the safest bet in Hollywood? Welcome back to The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. I'm Travis, and this is your quick, clean rundown of what matters in horror and genre today. If you're watching on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, drop a comment with your take on today's stories. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you answer today's poll before you bounce. All right, first episode of March. Let's get into it. And before we do, quick shout out to the sponsors. First up, Grove. March Movie Madness is live at Grove. Deals rolling all month, so keep an eye on what's rotating. Also on deck, Capes, Tights, and Vengeance. DC TV plus DVD deals on Daring Heroes drops March 10th. Devil's Advocate still up for pre-order. The Jurassic Collection is up for pre-order too. That's Jurassic Park, The Last World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, hitting March 17th on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and digital. And yes, Little Nicky limited edition Blu-ray Steelbooks drop March 31st. All of that over at Grove. Over at Fanatical, Bundle Fest is going down right now, and Wednesday's newsletter from last week are still on the move. So Resident Evil Requiem is still 18% off. Plus, you got Capcom favorites, build your own bundle. Guardians of Azuma is 32% off. You'll see banners on HMU when the deals rotate. Now, let's get into today's top stories. First up, Ghostface just walked into February and took the whole month hostage. According to the latest box office number, Scream 7 opened with 64.1 million domestic. That's 97.2 million worldwide. And it wasn't just good for a seventh movie, it was record-setting. Paramount's best horror opening ever, and the best opening for a February horror film of all time. What's wild is the story behind the success. This is the first time a Scream movie hit IMAX, and premium formats made up a huge chunk of the domestic revenue. That's not just money, that's event status. That's the studio telling audiences, this isn't a sequel, this is an appointment. And the audience data matters too. Most viewers were 18 to 44, which tells you the franchise is no longer surviving off nostalgia, it's being inherited. This just isn't Ghostface staying alive, this is Ghostface evolving into a global theatrical weapon. My question for you guys, does this performance prove horror franchises are stronger than superhero franchises right now? Or is Scream just a rare exception? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Next up, Jason Blum is getting honored by the Producers Guild, and at the same time, he's basically telling the industry, yeah, we gotten bigger, but I don't want to lose the ability to make the scrappy stuff. He's talking about building an apparatus for super low budget horror again, sub $1 million projects, while also admitting the landscape has shifted. He says audiences don't just show up and pick a horror movie anymore. They choose what already means something to them. IP, familiarity, brands, and I get it. Post-COVID theater behavior is different. People decide before they leave the house. But here's the tension. If the market only rewards big IP, then the next wave of horror greatness has to be built in the shadows again. Small, mean, risky, original. And that's where Blumhouse has historically been dangerous, because when the budgets stay low, the swings get weirder, and the results can shift the culture. My question for you guys, though, is would you rather Blumhouse prioritize new originals or double down on horror IP if that's what keeps theaters showing up? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. And finally, if you're the type who likes your horror strange, regional, grimy, experimental, listen up. A Night of Horror International Film Festival and Midwest Weirdfest both run March 5th through 8th, 2026 at the Mycon Downtown Cinema in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And the programming is exactly what you want from a Midwest festival. Anthologies, found footage, world premieres, horror comedies, documentary paranoia, cult cinema, the whole buffet. One of the big titles is The Drift List. We spoke about this film about maybe 6 months ago. This is the anthology horror film rooted in Midwest lore, premiering right where that landscape lives. That's smart programming because it puts the movie in its natural habitat and gives people a lot of those familiar scenes and places to check out. They've also got multiple premieres, including a pandemic home invasion shocker called Incubation, plus genre weirdness like The Philip Experiment, and a full slate of shorts that looks like it'll be pure chaos in the best way. If you care about indie horror communities, this is the kind of event where movies get discovered before they get acquired. My question for you guys, are you more interested in big studio horror wins like Scream 7 or festival horror where the next wave gets born? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Today's take. Here's what I'm sitting with today. Scream 7's numbers are going to make studios chase one thing: certainty. And certainty usually means franchises, brands, sequels, known masks. But Blum says he still wants sub $1 million horror. That matters big time, because the truth is the next era of horror won't come from the safest decision. It'll come from the weird little movie made for nothing, the one that plays at a festival, freaks people out, and changes the blueprint. Horror always does this cycle. The mainstream gets loud, and then the underground gets smarter, and that's where the future lives. All right, Spotify listeners, answer today's Spotify poll. What's the biggest scary story today? Scream 7's breaking records, Jason Blum publishing sub 1 million horror again, or Midwest Weirdfest, a Night of Horror lineup drop. DM us at HMUNCUT if you catch any breaking horror news, festival updates, trailer drops, or rumors that are accurately and actually credible. We may feature it on the show. And don't forget, check out our South by Southwest coverage that we have live on the website right now. And you can follow me personally on X at Travis Nyquil. That's your final cut for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. First episode of March, and horror already came out swinging. I'll be back tomorrow with more. You know the drill. Until then, keep the lights on.